every game status. Rel making a lot of sense there. Both Rel and Rakan I think would have been absolutely fine, but you do need some sort of hard engage, some sort of setup to be able to start off the fights, and I think Rel can really fit that bill. It's also something that people like quite a bit in Nautilus because there is that interaction with your Shattering Strike. You can break
it's just a matter of fact, as River and Audieland are going to find one another here in the river, but now it's Ayla jumping in immediately as 100 Thieves are ready to go in for the 3v3. Lions down to below half HP, but FBI and Ayla the same way. First blood over to Audieland, and Lion are on the board. River's next to drop, and it's a 2-for-0. Lion
it's more against, like full tanks and things like that. There's not a lot of really tanky characters over on the 100 Thieves side, but definitely can get a lot of value if you can have one of these extended fights here. And it is just going to be a trade of grubs for Dragon. Lion up towards that top side. They're going to be really happy about how this early game has gone. They're up 1k and they get 3 grubs. When you are the one who is winning the early game, who is having the pushing lanes, grubs get so much more value.
Yeah. I mean, grubs they're a down payment objective, right? Like, yeah, sure, it's nice to grab the extra EXP for your jungler. It's nice to get the little bit of gold that they reward, but it's really all about how much more value you can get later thanks to the push.
Grub, giving over 6 definitely feels rough, but they're so late to the play that it is going to be, if anything, just one steal on a grub, and
doesn't even get it, but Audieland in some danger now as Ayla jumps in to help River, trying to take out the Lion jungler. Sniper's ready to join the fight now too, as Audie has to flash away. A lot of damage though, back onto River, who tries to get away with an Afiri W, but he's so very low. First kill goes over to Sniper, picking off Lions, as Saint's the next to fall, and Sniper goes to the skies. 100. 1 out of 6 of those grubs like we were talking about earlier, but with the first Drake already in their possession, they would love to keep this stack going forward. Quid's job is just to zone Licorice away, make it so K'Sante can't really feel comfortable trying to enter towards the battlefield up here, and it looks like he'll have no problems doing that as the Drake is secured by River.
It is really nice, and this kind of build is going to punish the lack of MR on Licorice, not very much.
Licorice doing a good job staying alive up here, but a 3v1 is never great odds. River looking for a little bit more damage there with the Darkened Daggers, jumps forward, but Licorice goes unstoppable with the Pathmaker trying to get away. Weaver's Wall is going to claim it though, and 100 Thieves get kill number 3.
And that's going to be the feat of warfare for them, so pretty important kill. Audieland and Henna are pushing up in mid lane, trying to knock this tower down. You can see Saint is shoving down in the bot lane as well, and they're looking for a potential dive here on a Sniper.
Yeah, could be some trouble. Nice CC chain from Lions. Not quite enough damage there. It is the ultimate from the Azir, finishing off the kill, guaranteeing they get what they came for, and this should also facilitate Lion taking that first turret, so 1 feet going back their way as these stacking up, trying to get to that 360 breakpoint for the big power spike, but the tier 1 turret in mid. Now also going to be claimed by Lion. The tank you're going to have is Ayla, but he's on a support budget. It's not going to be that easy to build up enough resistances to tank those things, and the Rift Herald will now be claimed very shortly after. There's not quite as much pressure on Ayla to have these massive engages because everybody on Lion will just get shot to pieces before it even happens. Audieland, nice disengage there with the ulti, but he's ready to charge back right into the fight. Ayla here on the front line, locked up by Lions. Licorice with the teleport in, and Ayla is in danger. Nice kill going over to Henna, and they're looking for another. Doesn't turn into a whole lot. It's just cool points more than anything. That was a really sick play that then completely shuts down the neutral objective stacking that 100 Thieves were playing.
Scrimming against these top 4 teams, and of those top 4 teams, he saw 100 Thieves as the most beatable, the most likely to get a quote-unquote upset against. It's interesting because some players I talked to didn't even think that through these side lanes, trying to keep his farm really high here, as has Sniper. Sniper almost has the Moramena fully stacked, and we know, here comes Quid. We'll see if they can pull off this dive, though. The tower is there.
Ooh, nice move from Saint, trying to stop this, but still a ton of damage coming out from 100 Thieves. Saint very low, but the rocks are not there. Quid is now in danger as Licorice arrives to back up his mid laner. The seismic shove fade away will not find anything, and 100 Thieves is sat down. Having everybody stand inside the pit for a long time, but no, 100 Thieves, they can't get there in time. So like what we're seeing with the Otacon buffs. So yeah, hands off the wheel. All right, whatever. You guys get this one.
Yep. And they're kind of saying, that's what you're going to earn yourself with the Otacon, is we're not going to afterwards. Baron spawning here in just about a minute, so that is going to be the next big objective. Sniper able to get that tier 2, which is huge, and they're looking for a pick mid. Yeah, Lion's in some danger here. Has to try to Spider-Man his way out of it. The dredge line connects onto the terrain and gives him enough distance to not die. Gold from that tier 2, 700 gold on that isolated tier 2 tower take. It is so valuable when you grab that. FBI trying to defend here. 100 Thieves are collapsing, but this tower is just going to be gone.
Yeah, tower's already gone, but Ayla goes in for the engage. Licorice here on the front line, very, very low as Sniper's ready to go into the skies. Licorice caught inside the Weaver's wall, but Quid is already down. The first false life is going to be procced as Licorice continues trying to disengage. But he will be shut down by River as the Otacon buff expires right at the worst possible time. Now Audieland, Lions, and Saint all have to try to get away. FBI's low HP, but the rest of the Thieves are ready to chase. River continues firing forward as it looks like there is going to be an escape for Audieland, but no way home for Lions. The Hex Gates getting two of the Lion players out of danger as Saint's ready to re-engage, now looking for Ayla and FBI. He doesn't have the range thanks to the Arcane Shift as River is just doing the Dragon the entire time. They are forcing Lion to need to step forward. Saint and Audieland suffering from some of this poke here. They know that they need to go in before they absorb too much more.
Ayla is on the side, and he could look for a really good engage. He's trying to deny any potential hard commit from Lion. If they hard commit to this fight, they could get pinched.
Okay, Audi jumps over the wall, ready to go for the smite fight, but it's going to be secured by River's Nefiri instead. Now the 1v1 back in the Dragon Pit is not going the way of the Xinjiao as Lions have to try to get away, but a nice seismic shove seals his fate. Now the Nefiri ready to go in once again as the True Shot Barrage flies through and nearly kills off Audieland. A beautiful shot coming out from Sniper to seal the deal, but River may have gone too far. He jumps back in with the ultimate reset, but he gets
out no problem. That is nuts. River definitely using that character's kit to the maximum, and now they're going to be able to get a Baron off the back of that as well. River actually played that whole sequence so incredibly well.
Yeah.
Was very, very aggressive, always being able to bait abilities, being able to shred people, hitting multiple Qs, and just
guarantees there's no way for the enemy team to try to contest the Baron.
He got his one.
Sets him up. That's, hey, he's a sniper. He sniped. That was good.
There you go.
All right, mid lane tier 2 turret pops. 100 Thieves going to pick that one up, and then immediately Quid throws out the Weaver's wall. Saint wants to go for the engage on FBI, but he doesn't have enough damage, and FBI escapes. Saint immediately forced back down into the dirt, and 100 Thieves now with nobody dead on their own side, with Saint out of the picture for 50 seconds, and even once he revives, he's got no ult and no flash. 100 Thieves can smell the blood in the water.
Yeah, and no Zonias as well. That is really tough. He tried to catch him by Eing forward and then flash ulting to react to that Arcane Shift, but he used both the Arcane Shift and the flash to create even more space. Ezreal's one of the champions that it's so tough to actually do that to, because they have the secondary dash to avoid your follow-up flash, so FBI able to create that space, stays alive here, and 100 Thieves are pushing. They are low in health, but they get the kill.
Lions is already down. A nice seismic shove from Quid. Didn't even need any setup, and now the second shove is going to force Licorice to try to flash away. River continues jumping forward, and Lion is scrambling just to stay alive. 100 Thieves force their way into the bottom lane of the base. They take the full inhib. They don't lose a single man, and they get out.
Yep, they're going to be able to get out, and now because of that last Dragon, and look at Ayla on the flank.
Yeah, Ayla's ready because the True Shot Barrage already popped the Edge of Night off of Henna. Now the Rel's ready to immediately jump in with a Magnet Storm, and there goes River straight after the Lethality Varus. Henna just fighting to try to stay alive, but Quid has already gone on a killing spree. Sniper versus Audieland off of the side, and Sniper dies. Lion trying to get FBI now, but the damage is just too much. A double kill back over to Quid, and everybody on Lion except Audieland is staring at a black and white screen. 100 Thieves on the victory march.
100 Thieves finally able to get that decisive team fight win. They find the flank on Henna, and that is going to be that.
There we go. That mid lane turret is already gone. The inhibitor falls right after. They've got the super minions coming up through the bottom lane. There is no way for Audieland to do anything about this. Tries to maybe grab one little bit of a cheeky damage there in the river, but not enough. The ace for Quid's Talia. 100 Thieves will continue the reign of terror of the top 4 teams. 11-0 now. Lion could not find their way to get this one done. 14-7. 100 Thieves get the dub.
Back-to-back days for 100 Thieves. It is going to be Nautilus. So I am expecting it just to be Varus bot and Lucian mid, because it wasn't like a Nami Slam or Emilio, like one of those really good pairings, or maybe even like a Braum or something. But definitely an interesting read here. I feel like C9, that was always kind of one of those C9 hallmarks, is that they really played aggressive and they were really on point with that synergy. So it's nice to see them developing that.
Okay, Thanatos continuing to play aggressive up here on the top side. Does have Whippo down to 100 HP, but Inspired has decided to show his face. Both junglers ready to join the battle, and as soon as they see the enemy, Whippo and Inspired have to try to fall back. Whippo still only at 100 HP. Inspired going to be taken very low. The Mbessa going forward. It's first blood over to Thanatos.
That was... Blabber here is going to get contested.
Yeah, we got FlyQuest bringing down the three-man party, but Vulcan defending Blabber on this one. They do not want to oversend on the FlyQuest. Spend the flash earlier. I mean, after we got done seeing the top lane 2v2, the camera pans mid, and Loki's down to one auto attacker. He's dead. So really nice early pressure from Quad. There hasn't been any punish yet on it, so he continues to play that aggressively. And FlyQuest are going to go ahead and start up these grubs. They've already earned the first two, and C9 doesn't seem to be ready to challenge for the third.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanatos is going to be clearing out this wave. He knows that they were over on the grubs, and then
they will now take their opportunity to secure the second Drake of the game. So Drakes are going to be split 1 for 1, and grubs are going to be split 3 for 3, right down the middle here on the neutral objectives.
Fair is fair, and we are pretty much dead even, so they're splitting the gold as well. We'll see how Quad is going to be able to pilot this. It will be impressive if he can pull this off.
Okay, Busio going into the enemy jungle here, but does have to be a little bit careful. Daisy summoned up to try to block some of these spell shots from being able to connect with the Nautilus, but no, it's the full commit from C9, and they've already found the kill into Busio, but now they got to be careful because Thanatos is taking a ton of damage here in retaliation as Vulcan is already down to 100 HP. Support for support traded as the fight continues, and Loki's eating a ton of damage from Quad. Bwipo.
You can see in the extended fight, though, Quad, after those spells, we're back to live, we're back scrapping.
Yeah, we are not done. Vulcan and Blabber got to try to get away from this one, but no.
And when you play a melee champion into Rumble, you kind of have to. Like, you don't really have a lot of options because when you're farming the wave...
And then you pick up your free win with your Ivern lock-in with the 80% win rate. Like you're saying, Busio goes for the dredge line on Sven, but a nice arcane shift to get the distance back. Busio in danger. Public execution does the job. Loki's grabbing the first kill, but it's immediately traded back as Thanatos drops to the culling. Now the Herald's been summoned up. Loki's trying to run him over, but Vulcan's going to be the one jumping in. Shutdown credit over to Blabber, but he's got to be careful. Vulcan and Blabber both incredibly low, and Quad is looking to keep the aggro on. He's got to be careful. The Emperor's Divide. Loki gets the kill. Quad has to flash away back over the wall, and everybody else on FlyQuest is down.
Almost got the last hit to finish him off, but it was looking like FlyQuest for a moment there would have been able to take the fight as Quad and Masu and Inspired were standing and fighting. They get this initial chunk here onto Masu. Thanatos is coming over. Busio looks for the engage, but it's a great shift from Sven. And then Vulcan here stepping forward, looks for the combo. I think Vulcan needed to walk forward and block the culling. But we're back to live.
Back to live. Quad's in danger, and Thanatos has already killed him before Busio can provide any protection. The Mbessa damage is absolutely out of control. And the extra shield from the Eclipse keeps him alive. Busio can't get the trade, and now he's going to die as well. That's enemy mid laner down.
Fives as well. And Mbessa can be deceptively tanky. You know, when you have that Eclipse shield, plus you have the Eclipse shield to be able to walk out of that dot. Now they're onto the Baron here. FlyQuest have got to do something.
FlyQuest need to move in and try to stop this, but they're going up against Voracious. Otacon falls life buff. It's so hard to do. Thanatos going to be zoned away here by Quad as immediately Busio jumps into the fight, but Blabber's into the back line already, and Masu is down. Blabber's still standing and fighting, and C9 is just letting it rip. Inspired and Bwipo trying to get away, but Thanatos and Sven are on the hunt. Inspired's the last man.
Busio going forward here. Loki, though, sweeps around everyone, catches Masu, knocks him back into the team. The equalizer was good, but not good enough. I mean, can really flip a script very quickly like that, and Cloud9 definitely looking like they are poised to be able to take this one. We'll see if FlyQuest can find any sort of an opportunity here. A failed engage from Cloud9 still would give an opportunity to FlyQuest because they do have really high DPS with Masu and Quad here.
Okay, Bwipo and Busio holding the line in mid lane, keeping that tier 2 alive, but the problem is Loki and Sven have plenty of damage down there in bottom, so they can immediately force that objective down instead. Equalizer used to try to clear out the wave, but the Baron empowered minions and all of the extra damage is way too much. Bwipo far too far forward, and into the back line goes Blabber. He's found his target on Amasu, but he can't secure the kill. Bwipo is already down, but so is Blabber. 1-for-1 trade there, but now Inspired's about to drop as Sven and Thanatos just do so much damage. Busio's about to die to the burn. Quad unleashes the culling, but it's too little, too late. C9 have already won the fight.
It's just the two AD carries here without any support around them. It's going to be so hard for them to get anything done. They're TPing back in, refilling the health bars. Cloud9 pushing for the Nexus.
C9, they've already got that bot lane inhibitor down. Quad and Masu have to try to defend here, but the first Nexus turret is about to die, and Masu's already in the dirt. Quad the last man standing, but Thanatos is on the hunt yet again. He'll finish the last kill, and for the first time in Split 2, FlyQuest is gonna fall. C9 take him down 17-5.
What a birthday present for Vulcan. And Alistar definitely fits the bill. Can look to disengage some of these dives, knock away the Nico if she's going for an ultimate. That's a really key kind of interaction there, but definitely rounds out their comp well.
Yeah, a lot of times too.
It's going to be this playoffs because we only had the one best of 5 last split, and it was a 3-0.
Yeah. We said we were fearless, but we had a little fear in us.
Scared
still.
of Game Force.
You know, in our heart of hearts, we were a little scared.
We didn't see any Game Force.
But this time, we're going to be real.
Surely in a double limb playoffs, it's not been the flash off of B-Boy. They do get the summoners off Yon, but he lives, and now Fudge has stayed around. Can they set this up? Umpty is up here. He is level 4. Fudge does cancel the recall.
They need Umpty to tank the tower because he can drop it with his W, so then they can finish off Fudge.
All right, here we go. We're going to see if Umpty can start it up. He is going to pull aggro. Nice flash, avoids the taunt. They're going to be going back in, and Fudge does get knocked down, and they get out. Contracts now, though, can threaten the Hex Flash. They get double Hex Flash over the wall here. Are they going to actually go for the double Hex Flash play and look for one onto APA? APA is playing respectfully, though. He's playing up towards the top side. I think he would have to be below the tower for them to go for it, but they're going to go for it anyway. Nice flash out, responding to the play from APA, and now Umpty is here. That's pretty spicy from Shopify. The double Hex Flash over the Raptor.
They're not done yet. Umpty wants.
Now Umpty going in on Contracts. Contracts has no flash, and he's going to get chopped in.
You know, the Fury champion, Shopify were ones with really high priority on it early in the split, running 2 games of it, and he was the one going for all these invades. So he knows to definitely give respect. And here we go. There's the minion Core JJ.
We're 1,000 gold ahead because he has bot. And they are going to be looking for this. They are going to get pushed back by the Shock Blast. Doesn't connect. Seos has been chunked out quite a bit, though. And now TL looking like they have a pretty good angle. Contract's going to whiff on the ulti, and it's going to get poked down, and that should be enough to gain TL the Dragon. Nice attempt from Shopify, but can't find an angle.
And so I'm looking at Umpty's gold the entire time. He has
Looks like Umpty wants to try to get in there. We'll see if he can actually take him down in the 1v1 and how heavily he's going to commit to it. Impact trying to get in there. They are able to force out the flash immediately. And Fudge trying to run, but not long for this world. Going to be taken by the...
plus, it'd even still be probably pretty hard getting out of that alive because there's a lot of ability to follow for TL, so doesn't even want to try that. And TL.
And now Umpty down towards this bottom side is going to get eyes on Palafox, but won't commit to it. Contracts is coming in now, but he doesn't have eyes on it to him, and he's going to get interrupted on the dash. He's trying to get back towards the tower. Impact's actually tanking up the tower now because of the burn, and the Ash Arrow comes in from downtown, and it's going to get them the kill. Can they get it? You don't expect the Poppy to be there, and you pull aggro. Now another Ash Arrow is going to connect again, as ABA flashes and gets caught regardless. Can Contracts find the angle to send him into the wall? Doesn't even need it. B-Boy.
He's like a mediocre hero.
Yep.
Anyways, Dragonflight.
TP coming in here from Fudge. We'll see if they can get it. Hex Flash getting threatened from Contract. Not going to go over the wall. Seos getting chunked down so heavily. Great equalizer across 4 members from TL, but they're able to get out of it quickly. They do secure the Dragon. Now can they get away? Umpty's going to go in. He's going to get knocked out of it and shut down by B-Boy. Great job interrupting the dash. And
once again, chopped down on that early lead that they got, but tower.
APA getting wrapped on. We'll see if anyone else is here. He's going to be able to get the tower. A nice knockback, trying to summon up his own passive tower to survive. We'll see if he can do it against Palafox. Palafox trying to chase him down and finish him off, but in comes Umpty. He does get the kill. He will fall, but a nice 1-for-1 there from Palafox.
And they're going to be able to get secondary 1. This one is just really, really big for individual gold.
Contracts can't do this, though. He's like, he has no one helping him at all, and Impact's coming in. Now the teleport going to be coming in to join here from Palafox. Palafox, has he gone too far with that TP? Not going to be jumped on as he does arrive, and Shopify should be able to grab this and get out.
Gotta leave
TL
quickly, though.
Trying to do something about it, but just can't actually find any exit kills here. They weren't really on the same page. They did get the tier 2 bot, though, and that is a lot of gold. You can see their gold lead back up to almost 3K as Seos gets incredibly low there. We'll be able to limp away to safety, but TL are pushing mid lane now, too.
So Core JJ keeps turning into the big dog. He keeps turning into actual Umpty, but I want to see him turn into the mini dog. Like
Let's be
saying.
the pack leader, you know?
Yeah. So the only problem with that strat is, like, if the enemy team already knows the Neferi is fed, then they're probably not going to get tricked.
Oh, nice sidestep. A Contract's going over the wall and going to get the stun onto Core JJ. I don't think he has a way out of this one. Contract's tough start.
Another tower. So while Shopify get close on some objectives there and they get the tower low, TL keep getting a lot of tower gold. Very, very
These two players have.
Yeah, especially with the accuracy of the Ash Arrows so far. I don't think we've seen B-Boy miss one yet. Impact on the bottom side.
Impact looking here for Fudge. Fudge going to be able to overheat, though, and B-Boy's coming in. Impact's now sectioned off from the rest of the team. Impact going to flash away, but Fudge is there to follow. He's stunned up, and he is knocked down. APA pushing for the tier 2 mid. I think TL have just got to bail out. Is pretty far up here, but he is by himself, and Palafox is liking his odds in this fight. You can see that CoreJJ as well as Yon are on the side. But
Asher or something like that to try and even up. Wait a second.
APA is here. Can they actually find the play? Umty's getting CC chained so much, but he's going to try to get out of there. We'll see if he can actually do it. The equalizer gets dropped, but not really the right way. And at the same time, APA knocks down Contracts. He was just free firing the whole time with the lethal tempo Azir. They kind of overcommit onto Umty, but at the same time, Palafox takes down the tier 1 and he's pushing on the tier 2 bot.
Exactly. They're doing this while split pushing. So Otacon will be the focus for Team Liquid. Palafox has teleport on the Jace. He wants to finish bottom tower first, then we'll see.
Oh, B-Boy in a lot of trouble. Yon goes in with the killer instinct. In comes Impact. Can he get the follow to take him down? Can't quite do it. Doesn't have the flash because of that earlier dragon play. It is going to mean, though, Otacon should go their way as Umty just slowly but surely knocking this down. As long as you're actually dodging out on the abilities, Otacon does very little to you, but you can't afford to tank these abilities because they are really punishing. You just dodge the orbs, and then for the GA, you step outside of that kind of AoE zone. They do get an eyes on it right at the very end. Chunk here down onto Impact as TL are already on the Baron. They're trying to two-man it here with Umty and APA. Yon, though, is in the area. Impact's lost half his health, but TL still are on the Baron. There is vision of it for Shopify. We'll see if they can actually find a way to punish this. CoreJJ on the side does find Fudge, who does have his flashback now, and APA in the middle of everyone scoops him back, and the follow-up is there from TL. The equalizer going to get dropped to the wall, but it's Yon into the back line here, cutting them to pieces. Seo's trying to run. Contracts fighting back, doing what he can here. They do take down 2, but Umty is going to chase him, and Umty wants even more as TL come out way on top here. They've already taken 4, and they're looking for number 5. It's only a matter of time here as Contracts picking up the honey fruit, picking up the passive, trying to survive, but he can't do it.
For Team Liquid. APA Azir is in a new era. He's
always pick Azir.
Yeah, always pick Azir. Perfect acronym for him nowadays. Scoops him right into the waiting arms of CoreJJ's first stage game, Nico here.
You need to see, hey, I can do this. I can find these angles.
Yeah, I like the interview afterwards, too, because Emily asked him sacrificing yourself for many other members.
There you go. Sounds pretty simple. Don't know why everyone doesn't do that. As Umty's going to be jumping in on Fudge. Does have a massive gold lead and is able to enforce his will on Fudge, pushing him back. Impact knocks down the tier 2, extending the gold lead to 9.3K. Absolutely insane. As the 6 Grubs going to make short work of these towers. They're pushing in all 3 waves right now. The Ash Arrow does connect, but it's just on Impact, and he is so damn tanky. Not sure they can really do anything about this. They do get him down to about a quarter HP, but Contracts losing a lot of his health as well, and they've lost the mid lane turret. They lost the mid lane inhibitor, and now there's a wave coming in through bot that is likely going to mean the end of that tower. This is looking like a very easy triple inhib here for TL, unless Shopify can find an angle to go right now.
Yeah, and the angle is not looking good. It is closing quickly here.
Yeah, we're going to see if they can find something here on Umty. Umty getting chunked down, but Umty is still very strong and trying to kite out. In comes the Galio ultimate to back him up, and Umty's just going to turn and he's going to fight. The equalizer gets dropped. B-Boy trying to find something here, but the taunt lands, and in comes Yon with the killer instinct. APA not able to find that ulti, though, as Palafox flashes out of it. Still, though, TL too strong, fighting through here. Umty going back in off the reset. Fudge trying to clear out the way. Seos standing, trying to survive, but it's just not looking like it's going to be enough. The Grubs are spawning out here. Maybe they can hold for a little bit longer because they got APA and because they got Yon, but they're still going to lose the triple inhib here, and it's going to be so hard to come back. Great W does immune the knock up there from Seos, but then he's going to get grounded. Fudge, though, just can't get in range, and Impact is closing in. They've got to try to get out. Seos has no ultimate, is creating a little bit of a space. We'll get back to the fountain here to try to heal back up, and B-Boy's going to be up his pack.
Yeah, exactly.
You're rarely taken down by just one
Especially when they got the big brother super minions
When they start
coming.
swarming like this, though, they are not to be trifled with. We'll see if Shopify can even clear out the waves. The Hurricane going to help. Great stasis there. Immunes the Ash Arrow coming through as Impact does buff for the taunt, just kind of stopping any threat of that engage here. CoreJJ on the side as a minion. We'll see if he can find an angle. The towers are starting to go down, though. They need to look for it right now. APA is the target, but they can't find him. In comes the equalizer, but it's not doing anything. Fudge in the back line trying to survive. gets back to the fountain. Conject's on the other side, trying to put pressure onto Jan, but Jan is standing, Jan is firing, Jan goes in with the killer instinct, and it's 2 kills for TL, and it's looking like it's going to be even more. Jan gets a double, Jan gets another as they ace him on the steps of the base. TL finish the job, take down Shopify. Jace answers.
Oh,
Insta. We see
Insta.
a lot of, but this time there is going to be one.
And it's such a good such a good matchup for the York because the cage is insanely annoying for Jace. Insanely annoying.
Not a very mobile character. Would be a bit of an awkward spot. And now comes Tomo and Isles. They have the information. They are going to be able to find their exit here, though. Abadaga goes back in a little bit haphazardly. They do get 2 grubs, though, and they get out.
Okay. They stick around. They got the extra one.
Oh, the sweeper does spot Scary Jerry. Isles tries to find it. In comes Kaney. Can he actually find the charm? Goes point blank. He's going to go over the wall as Scary Jerry. He misread where he flashed because he flashed into the
brush. So that would have helped him if he hugged a bit more of that side. He would have known.
Surdy wants a teammate to hug, but there's no one around. He is going to be having to run here from XU. XU flashing forward. Surdy does flash. The Q follows. Can the dogs finish him off? Doesn't look like they have the move speed. And now Shaden is coming in, as is the rest of Dignitas. And XU's in a lot of trouble here. The hook comes through from Hui, but it might just be another kill that's going to be given over as the reinforcements have arrived. Kaney is here. Hui's got nowhere to go, and they're likely to even be able to give this over to Kaney. Instead, the double kill taken by Shaden. Dignitas.
So a nice little bit of chunk damage, but the vision behind them.
Flash, Scary Jerry. This could be trouble. They're going to be able to flash in. Great engage there from Isles, and the Q flash catches him from Shaden. The ulti came out from first Scrubs, but Dignitas definitely in a strong spot now to try to grab these ones. We'll see. There's a scrap down in bot lane. It's going to be the charm landing on a Hui, and he is gone already. Abadaga does arrive. Can they find the damage to take down Shaden? XU trying to do it, but on the side, it's going to be Tomo pushing back Scary Jerry. Tomo's back with the rest of the team, and it's back to DSG getting wiped. Kaney still 2 charges on the ulti. The True Shot Barrage connects. Scary Jerry flashes over the wall, tries to flash follow, but it's a face plant into the wall there. Tomo looking like he's going to be able to take down Abadaga, finishes the kill, and should be out of range of the piercing arrows. Down on the bot side, both these top laners very low, but Castle getting the worst end of it. He's going to be pushed back, and it's 6-0 for Dignitas.
All right, let's go. Dignitas, this, we said they had some really good early games before and not being able to finish. This one, they definitely...
Oh, Castle connects there. He's going to get the ghouls on him, but he uses the acceleration gate. Can't get in range to actually cage him in. I think he actually didn't even have the mana because the cage is actually fairly expensive, but does delay the base. And now Hui is down here. Hui going to be able to nail the hook. Can they actually give the kill to Castle? Okay. They can. As he goops him and takes him down on the bot side. He goops him. Hits him with the ectoplasm. And is able to grab a couple plates. Winning this. Castle has a lot of damage here with that Sheen and did have a Demolish proc ready. Looks like they are going to be able to claim the first tower for themselves. So that is pretty nice. A good job there by Castle being able to survive. I do think it's so important that Castle stays strong in this game because if you do have a side lane threat, it can make things...
Shifty Ghost gets his Trinity Force completed as well. So maybe... maybe they can find something. I just think...
So it is the ultimate used there by Isles. Arif out for the flash.
Blank.
Scary Jerry going to be in some trouble. Will he flash? He will, but he still has the charm, and he's going to be able to connect. And in comes Isles, and in comes the rest of the team. The Avengers arrive in the mid lane, and Scary Jerry's got nowhere to go.
Yep. Meanwhile, bot side.
Surdy could be in some trouble here. Can he hit the seismic shove? Surdy does still have his flash. He is going to be able to use it to flash. Nicely done. The tower is heated up, and they are tanking shot after shot after shot. The shot blast gets one.
The Ezreal ult. He's able to win the poke wars at the very end while surviving.
Yeah, really well done by him. Dig take the Herald. They're likely to take this top lane tower as well. They do have 4 grubs, so they're going to be able to have that little Void Might spawn. Things looking really good for them, even better than their game yesterday against 100 Thieves. And it is really kind of Castle is that lone hope, it feels like, right now for the team. He's got that 800 gold lead, but everyone else is way behind.
It's the other side of the top lane experience, you know, where you're like, I finally, you know, I learned from the last time I got this pick, you know, this exact matchup. I took my notes, you know, I'm doing great.
30. it is going to be really difficult for KazaLoL to play. And because his team is this far behind, they have no vision, but Isles there had no vision either, and Scary Jerry going to be able to get a kill. So just be in the side lane, to be honest. It's pretty tough to actually find a lot of value in team fights, especially against teams like this where the carries are very shifty. It's like Ezreal and Ahri are just going to get kited out and CC'd up and rooted, and it's very tough to actually close the gap and find a lot there. So he's just going to be pushing up towards that top. Will force the response of Kaney to move up here towards this top side, but they already lost their tier 1 mid. They do lose the dragon. It is only the second. KazaLoL does get the Demolish proc down, but something you actually have to be really careful about is they changed the way that the Ghoul AI works since they did this mini rework. And one of the problems with this is it actually makes it very hard to hit the tower in your opponent's face, as he's going to get charmed under the tower. And now KazaLoL misses the E, does get a nice heal off of his Q, but in comes Isles, and it's going to be a shutdown. Went too far there. The mini
This was kind of like the last bastion.
Yeah, and sometimes these things happen when, like, we've all been in that spot, as we're going to see a potential engage here. Nice disengage, though, from Abadaga, but it's not even going to matter. He's going to get charmed, and in comes Surdy now. KazaLoL arrives on the teleport, but he doesn't even have an ulti, so Yorick is useless in this situation. Abadaga tried his best to disengage Shaden, but he was able to buffer the ulti on the seismic shove. The CC landed, Kaney followed up, they got the kill. And things looking good now. Is going to be able to force a flash there out on that hook. Kaney, though, in the back line. Scary Jerry does avoid the charm. Exu on the other side trying to fight, but Exu's going to get charmed up, and Exu's going to get knocked down. In comes Surdy. Kaney cleans up another. Scary Jerry is gone. It's KazaLoL versus the world. He is on the run. Flash forced by the jump in from Isles, and they can just go right down to Otacon if they want to, but they want the tier 2 as well. Tomo is there. Q flash from Shaden. They get the kill. They'll get the tower. They'll get the ace, and they will take everything.
All right, Dignitas, this
does spot Isles there, is getting some chip damage down on him, but it just doesn't die that fast. Yorick does crush objectives, and they're kind of just depending on that Yorick damage from the Maiden here. It is getting quite low now, and the teleport's going to be forced here from Kaney. They're looking for the turn. Can they actually find it here onto Tomo? Tomo flashes out as in comes Isles. Kaney's now arriving. Flashes in, lands the charm. Scary Jerry is gone already. Hui on the side, though, fighting strong. KazaLoL and Exu are still alive. It's a pretty even fight thus far. Can they actually make something happen? No, they cannot. Exu down incredibly low. The charm's going to land on KazaLoL. KazaLoL blast cones out, but not the safety, as on the other side, it's Exu.
Top side. Meanwhile, Abadaga and Scary Jerry, your two carries there, got pushed up against Otacon and destroyed by the rest.
Only chance now is just fully overload one side, try to find 3v1s, 4v1s, try to get quick kills, hope Dignitas starts to pile up some mistakes. Otherwise, I think this is going to be a quick closeout from Dig.
KazaLoL got a purchase of a hull breaker.
That's true. He does have a hull breaker, but he does have no ultimate. We'll see if he can actually win without it. It's looking pretty good for him so far, but Surdy just kiting back, not allowing him to have that full all-in. Good hook from Hui, but it's not going to matter as it's buffered out by Tomo. Tomo is pumping damage into Hui. Shaden's going to get knocked down, so they do get one withdraw. Can they push forward and try to find more? Seismic Shove does connect there onto Isles, but they don't have the follow-up damage to actually knock them down. DSG, if there's an opportunity, it might be right here, right now. Nice charm, though, does actually connect there onto Exu. Exu going to be pushed back one more time. Kaney is just playing so aggressive, not threatened at all at this point. He's level 17, miles ahead of where Scary Jerry is. 5 levels up on the Varus right now.
Yeah, he's definitely scared, even under tower there, taking a lot of damage. Tomo not scared at all. He walks into the tower, going to shift over the wall, I assume. Or not, just withdraw.
No, I think he was just trying to trade out his withdraw.
They're very comfortable, you know, large gold lead and everything.
Yep, they are very far ahead. And are going to find a hook here on Isles. They're trying to turn around. The Chains of Corruption there to follow, but there's the flash in, and oh my god, now you see him, now you don't, and that is scary for Jerry. He is down, and Dignitas piling in, looking to put the finishing touches onto this one. In goes Kaney, trying to finish off Abadaga, and he's going to do it. Nails the charm and takes him down. Exu will fall as well. Again, it is KazaLoL alone versus all of Dignitas, and he's got not much to do here.
Okay. Well, he's going to try another... What is he going to try?
He's going to try to kill some minions.
What's he going to try? He's got a Jace on top side. The rest of the enemy team's on Baron. All he can do is try and focus on the wave. Like you said earlier, Zale, focus on what you can control.
He's in his lane. He's relaxed. He's striving.
Try and kill those minions off.
Got the wave.
Because Dignitas, they're going to collect everything else. They put the pressure on top side. They get the Baron for themselves, and that should be...
Safety there for Scary Jerry. But DSG going to keep on fighting, now down nearly 13,000 gold, plus the Baron buff is there.
All right, Tomo on the tower.
Round 2 will
He's got it.
Tomo,
He's got it this one this time.
He brought backup.
Okay.
It's like got beat up at school, but this time you bring back your big brother to help you out with the tower. Yeah, so they are going to be threatening here. Wall going to be thrown down by Abadaga, trying to pincer them off, and they're going to look for Surdy, but can't really find much. They get the seismic shove, but it's not even into the rocks, so it didn't do much of anything, and Kaney is already taking down that mid lane tower. An objective bounty was claimed by Castle down on the tier 2. They know they can't defend, so they're just going to try to split push. We'll see how much he can get, and if they can threaten anyone to force them back. Surdy does go back now as he is on that inhibitor tower. How much can Castle get, and can they hold on the other side? They're going in for Abadaga, going to be throwing down the stasis, but they're just stacking in on top of him. Hui does a good job peeling out the engage, but Hui's in a lot of trouble. He's trying to get back, can't survive the damage. Castle has already knocked down in the hip. He's just pushing for the Nexus, but I don't think he's really going to be able to make it happen against Surdy. And meanwhile, a Nexus tower has fallen. It's just Scary Jerry, XU, and Abadaga. And look at that damage coming through from Kaney. And I think this is going to be it. The charm lands. The damage is done. Dignitas will take down DSG.
Walker blitzed out this game, I think.
Yeah, it's a cringe game, of course.
I think I should not have went ball in. Just stay top.
When did you go bot?
I went to Yorick and then we did nothing combo.